Unleaded 88. I'm at Sheets. Can somebody tell me what harm I'm doing to my vehicle by using unleaded 88? Because it is like 25 cents cheaper than regular unleaded 87.
Okay, so here's my take on it, because people go back and forth and argue about this all the time. First of all, a lot of people get confused. Unleaded 88 is not E85. It's not the same thing. Unleaded 88 is 15% ethanol, which is basically like pure grain alcohol. That 87 you're looking at, that's more expensive, is 10% ethanol. E85 has a lot more ethanol in it than unleaded 88, over 50%. And look, this is a much debated topic. Universities have done studies over this stuff for many, many years. People say, oh, it gets worse fuel mileage. They've done studies that it gets better. They've done other studies where it's worse. It really depends on the vehicle. First of all, just because it's cheaper doesn't mean it's worse. Unleaded 88 is cheaper because it's subsidized. That's why it's cheaper. It has nothing to do with the quality of the fuel. And some people say, oh, ethanol, it carries moisture and water and causes this. They put stuff in gas for that. They put additives in the fuel to take care of that. Do I think unleaded 88 is safe? Absolutely. Do you know why I think that? Because for many, many years, hundreds and hundreds of millions of cars have used that fuel and driven tens of billions of miles. And honestly, at my local station, if one person gets bad gas, the whole damn county knows about it. You know what I mean? That's a lot of cars and a lot of billions of miles driven for this to be such a damaging fuel. Right? Also, the EPA has tested this stuff to death. I would buy that gas every day and not think twice about it. And I'm an oil and gas expert. But you should absolutely know what's recommended. Like, you should read your manual and see what your auto manufacturer recommends. But typically, if the car is a later model than 2001, it's fine. And there are a few cars that don't recommend it, and cars with higher performance engines. It's also supposed to be fine for cars with, the flex fuel badge on it. Keep in mind that newer cars don't have the components that ethanol is supposed to harm. They don't have rubber fuel lines. And they're also coated with anti-corrosives. So yeah, unleaded 88, in my opinion, is safe. Just make sure, you don't drive one of the few vehicles that you're not supposed to use it in. Make sure it's newer than 2001. I wouldn't put it in a classic vehicle for sure. I wouldn't put it in my Scout. E85, that's a different subject though. E85, that's for flex fuel, right? Don't be putting E85 in anything that is not flex fuel. Because at the end of the day, you can get different opinions. You ask 1,000 people, you'll get 1,000 different opinions. But nobody's opinion is stronger than the data. And the data is hundreds of millions of cars have driven tens of billions of miles on that gas. And if it caused major problems, mass problems, we would know about it. Yeah, thanks.